this is my his episode. Like, I'm just gonna get it off my chest and lay it to rest. I don't want to talk about it no more. I don't want to discuss it no more. If you feel some type of way, I put applications in my bio for guests to come on my show, and baby, everybody is welcome. So if you want to tell your side of the story, come tell your side of the story. You're more than welcome. But for right now, this my story. Hi guys, and welcome to this episode of Love Speaks. Period. 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 Yeah. Anyways, so y'all, I filmed this episode yesterday, and it's been a lot going on, so I have to refilm it. I realized that I have to make this 2 parts, so I'm gonna do a part 1 today, and then a part 1 probably next week. But the first part, okay, so y'all, so the story I have a story for y'all, and I have to get this story out because it keeps coming back to it. It keeps coming back to it no matter what I do. I keep having to retell a story and retell a story and retell a story. This story is for educational purposes only. Most people that I keep coming in contact with, they have an ex of some sort or some type of person that they keep being in this cycle with, and I have to tell my story to help. Anybody that has anything to do with this story, it's not to bash you in any type of form, fashion, or way. It's just to tell my side of the story, and this is my his episode. Like, I'm just gonna get it off my chest and lay it to rest. I don't want to talk about it no more. I don't want to discuss it no more. If you feel some type of way, I put applications in my bio for guests to come on my show, and baby, everybody is welcome. So if you want to tell your side of the story, come tell your side of the story. You're more than welcome. But for right now, this my story. So yeah, so for part 1, I'm gonna tell y'all the moment we met till the moment we was about to move in together. So and then for part 2 is gonna be from the moment we moved into each other till we broke up. Now, if y'all know me, I have one ex. If y'all don't, I have an ex that I was very, very in love with. I met my ex when I was in high school, my sophomore year of high school, his junior year. We're going to name him Darnell. I don't know why I'm gonna name him Darnell, but his name is Darnell. So it's a couple of people that, like, comes about in the story. They're gonna have names too. So I met Darnell my sophomore year of high school, and it was like a normal, like, high school, relationship. It wasn't really nothing too crazy going on. He wasn't really in a mix as far as, like, a lot of girls. Like, it wasn't a lot of girls that I had to deal with. Like, he was such a sweetheart when we first met. Like, of course I think he talked to like 2 girls when I first met him, and then a girl had came from another school, and they was kind of like, they had like little lover names. I forgot what they used to call each other, but they had little lover names, but it was nothing too serious with girls when I first met him. So we met. He used to come. I used to live in the suburbs, so he used to come all the way from the city to the suburbs to my house. He used to have to get on this bus, y'all. I think that's how I fell in love, because he used to have to get on this bus and come far to see me, baby. It wasn't like no little 30-minute drive. He was like on that bus for an hour and 15. Like, he was on that bus for a minute, and he used to come sneak and see me, and it was just like, it was like a teenage, like, little love story, if you ask me. So our first year was good. Nothing really happened. We was, in the beginning of the lover stage. And then the second year came around, and during the second year, he had a best friend, and we're gonna call her TT. So him and TT, it was our anniversary / his birthday. It was our 1 year anniversary and his birthday. So he had came to my house per usual. At this time, he moved schools because he didn't really like the school. He was too smart for his own good. So he had went to an alternative school. He did not need to go to an alternative school. Nobody was trying to put him out of our school. Nothing. He just wanted to go to the alternative school. So Darnell went to the alternative school. I'm still at our the school that we met at, and his best friend also is at the school that we met at. So his best friend TT is there. She's a girl. So it was. I didn't really I used to see her. I used to speak to her and stuff. And then towards the end, she started to act funny, but I didn't really think nothing of it. I just thought she's not my friend. She is his friend. So, at first when I first started dating him, she was all, nice to me but then she started to distance herself and whatever. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I didn't really think none of it. But our anniversary / his birthday, he had my phone because he was looking at the bus routes, and I got his phone because I was finna order us pizza. So as I get his phone and I unlock it, their messages are already on the screen, and it says, "I hope you liked your birthday gift," with the wedding emoji and I think the tongue emoji or whatever. And I'm just what is this and whatever. And he plays it down. He says nothing. She got him something for his birthday and whatever, and it wasn't what I thought it was. So I'm like, okay. So I leave it alone, and then I go to school and I ask her hey, what did you get Darnell for his birthday? She says I forgot what she said, but she was nothing. Something I literally forgot. I don't want to lie to y'all, so I'm just gonna say she said she gave me the same kind of BS story that he gave me. So, but I digressed from that. I was just okay, whatever. Maybe I'm overthinking it. So I let it go. And one day he came up to the school, and we was in a cafeteria. Me and her had the same lunch block. Now she was in a grade above me, so she was a senior. I was a junior at this time. She was. But I still had the same lunch block as her. And as we're at lunch, she has a Subway. He walks in. I forgot why he came up there. He came up there for something. But he walks in and she gives him her Subway sandwich and put it up to his mouth and tries to let him bite it. And he was no, but I lost it, and I threw a water bottle at them, and I was like, what what is going on? Why would she think it's okay to give you a bite of her sandwich that she's eating on? And so he was like, oh, it's nothing, you kind of over exaggerating. So I'm like, okay, whatever, leave me alone. He ended up leaving. So now, when I throw my water bottle at them, well, I really threw it at him. When I threw it at him and whatever, her friends was over there laughing. And if y'all know me, I don't like people laughing at me. One thing about me, don't laugh at me. Have y'all ever saw that Bad Girls Club episode when she was like, why these just laughing at me? Why y'all laughing at me? Don't laugh at me. That's me. Don't laugh at me. I hate that. Don't laugh at me. So they was in the corner laughing. And so I didn't really, think too much of it. I go to class, and my friends, now we're in art class, and my friends, we're going to call them JoJo and Damo. That's kind of their names. I'm not going to get them fake names. All my people, I'm not going to get them fake names. So JoJo and Damo, they're in the back, and they tell me I overheard, this person said, my boyfriend, Darnell and TT was, freaking, her friends over there talking about it, they was laughing about it. So I'm like, excuse me? So I goes to the bathroom. At this point, I'm hysterical. I'm crying, I'm I don't know. So I call him. I'm like, hey, did you have, and of course with TT, he hang up on me. So I'm like, okay. I call him back. And then he's like, yeah, I did. And I kind of lose it. I'm in a bathroom crying. Like, I'm really, really sad. Now, I have to tell y'all too. I move my hands because when I'm telling the story from my past with trauma, that have a lot of trauma involved in it, I move my hands a lot. So, I'm sorry. Please bear with me. So, but back to the story. So, I'm in the bathroom, I'm crying and whatever. So, I'm like, okay, let's see. Because when I asked her, I was in math class. No, I wasn't in math class. I think she was in math class. And I was like coming down the hallway. It was just me and her in the hallway. I like to do stuff when I'm alone. Like, I don't like crowds and stuff. So I had asked her, I put her to the side. I was just like, hey, like, can you please just tell me, like, I don't know what he got going on, but like, can you please tell me? She's like, oh yeah, I told him that he needs to tell you because I feel bad. And she just, no, that happened. Okay. But when I had put her to the side, I'm like, hey, can you please just tell me? She was like, oh no, you don't have to worry, nothing happened. But then when after he told me, I confronted her again, and I'm just like, hey, like, why did you lie? Like, why is y'all lying? And she's like, oh, I told him I felt bad because I kept speaking to you and talking to you and all this, and it was his place to tell you and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, you're right, it is his place. So I'm like, if he ever reach out to you again and whatever, can you please just let me know? So she's like, yeah, I'll tell you. You don't have to worry about it, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, I thought me and her had understanding. And so I kind of leave the situation alone. Me and him, I stopped talking to him for a minute, but then we start back talking to try to work it out. He said he'll stop talking to her, all this stuff. Okay, and then I told her, like, if he reach out to her, can you just let me know? So I'm thinking that it is over with. No. Not too long after that, she ends up at his house, and I see it on his friend's snap that she's at his house with him and his friend, and they're playing cards. So I goes off on him. I say, why is this girl at your house? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I go off. So he's like, oh, she's trying to say that she's pregnant and she came over here to let me know and blah, blah, blah. And we just, started kicking it at them. So I'm like, so she thinks she's pregnant, huh? So I had just had a pregnancy scare. So I had tests, y'all. So I'm like, okay, I got this test. I'm going to go to school tomorrow and she's going to pee on this stick. And so... So I'm like, I told him, like, okay, don't worry about it. We're going to get to the bottom of it. So I go to school the next day. And we was all in this group together. It was like a group within the school. I don't want to say the name of it. So we was all in that little group. And I didn't go to the meeting that day, but she did. So when she came out the meeting, I was standing by the door. And I had told her, like, can we go to the bathroom? Like, can I talk to you? So she like, yeah. Now, mind y'all, it's me. I'm by myself. I'm walking in the front of her by myself. But behind me is her best friend. And then it's like two of my friends. They weren't my friends, but two of my friends. Well, one of them, she kind of still cool, but we don't talk, but whatever. It's two of my friends. And then it's another girl who was like flip-flopping, between liking me and not liking me. At this point, she didn't like me. So they're all, and then, it was her best friend's sister. So it was like four of them, me, and then my two friends. And we were all walking to the bathroom. So behind me, the girl that's flip-flopping between groups, she don't know who she like. She's like, oh, TT, what you doing this weekend? You going to see your man? You finna go be with your man? They all walking behind me laughing. Kikiing, trying to make a mockery out of me. So, but I ain't give a fuck. I was on a mission. I wanted to know one thing. I didn't care about none of that. I don't know. I think sometimes I wasn't, I don't know. I don't know. So we get to the bathroom. I tell the two girls that's like my friends, I say, y'all can go. And then I ask everybody, I say, like, can I just talk to her? She's like, oh, no. Her best friend, which was a big girl, she was a big girl. She was like, my best friend is going to stay. So I'm like, okay, that's fine with me. I don't care. I don't care who in here. But I just wanted to talk to you because I didn't want everybody to know your business. So she's like, oh no, she's staying. So I'm like, okay. So we go like towards the back to like one of the stalls, because I'm like, I really just want to talk to you though. Like, you know, I'm not on nothing. I just want to talk. So me and her, we go towards the back, and I give her the pregnancy test. I'm like, here, pee on the stick. She's like, no, I'm not peeing on that stick with you. I'm gonna pee on it with him, because that's who I did it with. So that's who I'm gonna, pee on it with. So I said, no, you're not gonna pee on it with my man. I said, oh, not that one. I said, you'll be peeing on it by yourself before you pee on it with him. And then so now she's walking towards her best friend. She's like, oh, you ain't gonna do nothing. I'm not peeing on it with you. She like trying to get loud and stuff and whatever. I said, okay, you ain't gonna pee on the stick. Just know you're not gonna pee on it with him. She's like, I ain't gonna pee on it. Like, she's getting rowdy and stuff. I'm like, okay, And I just walked out the bathroom. I said, okay. And I just walked out the bathroom. And I let him know, like, you better not even think about doing that test with her. And so he's like, okay, we'll just see. Time will tell. Everything, will be revealed or whatever. Come to find out, she tried to play it for a little while longer, and then she started like messing with me on Facebook, like just making posts about me or whatever. And I had told her, like, I had inboxed her, and I said, you keep coming for me, so when I see you, I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat your ass. And so I told her that, and then she was just like, girl, I'm too grown, blah, 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 blah. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, right. And then, but she kept like talking on Facebook. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to see this girl when I see her. Now she graduate, and that's how, like, I would just have to go to and see her when I see her. So, me and him, though, our relationship is still good. It's no really, besides her and like the two girls when we first started, it was nothing really going on with him and other women. He was treating me nice. He was like, we was going to church, and what really like warmed my heart with our whole situation was when we had went to church, his pastor was like, I really see this young man's life turning around, and I feel like it's because of that young lady he had with him. He was talking about me. It's talking about me. I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm changing his life, Lord. Oh my God. Like, I was just like, I was in love. And so so at this point, he graduates. I'm going into my senior year. We still don't really have no problems. With the girl, we saw her again for New Year's, and nothing really happened. Like, we just, act like she wasn't there. But when we left, I kind of felt some type of way, because I'm like, I said I was going to beat her ass when I saw her, and I just saw her and I ain't beat her ass. I'm like telling him, I'm like, bro, I really should have just beat her ass when I just saw her, because I said I was going to do it, and I didn't. And then he was like, yeah, if you feel some type of way, you should have did it, da-da-da-da-da. He's hyping me up. I'm like, oh, Jesus, shit. So she ended up coming to the school again, and, my cousin, we gonna call her Lil' Killer. Look, Killer, she's kind of, she be ready anytime she's ready. So, we see, like, she comes in. I don't know if I see her or my cousin see her, but somebody sees her, and somebody go get the other person, and it's like, shorty, at the office. You wanna run, like, you wanna fight her? And I'm just like, yeah, I do, actually. Thank you. Now, man, y'all, this is my senior year. So I'm like, yeah, I actually do. So she's now, when we get downstairs, she's walking out the door, and I'm like, hey, I want to fight you. She's like, no, I'm not about to fight you. So I'm like, okay. So she goes to the back, she's in the parking lot now. And so I goes out the back door, me and my cousin, and I start fighting her. Now, she's already not winning. But my cousin, she's the type of person, Killer, she's like, if one fight, I'll fight anytime. No matter who's winning, who's losing, everybody's going to fight. That's her. So she jumps in anyway. So now we're just beating this girl up. And the security guard sees us. And so he comes and he gets us. And they tried to take my prom away. But my shorty, she know who she is. I mean, they know who they are. She wasn't going to let that happen. So I still got to go on prom, yeah. But anyways, I ended up fighting her. I had like a couple of days in school suspension. I feel like because everybody knew, because she really tried to play with me. Like when she was there, like people, like she was trying to throw her hand, but like throw her stick and have her hand, like, you know, like that stand. That's what she was doing. So like it was only a matter of time. Like I'm like, bro, like I can't keep letting this girl get one over. Like I don't, because I'm not even a violent person. I don't fight. I don't condone it at all. So if you had, like, it really made me feel some type of way when they started laughing at me too. Like, do not laugh at me, because I don't, like, I ain't find it funny, especially when she was just on the floor rolling around in the middle of the floor because somebody had sex with her boyfriend. So why would you go do it to somebody else? You know, like, so I you know, hey, I digress. But anyways, back to me and my ex. So me and Darnell, we are it's my senior year. He had just graduated, and we was talking about going to the Navy together. So he was gonna go, and then I was gonna go, and then we were gonna get married so we can be stationed together. That's the plan. But as he's going to you know, get stationed and whatever, he walked past the Marine Corps branch, and he's like, I'm going to the Marine Corps, because he's like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna be the best. I'm going to pick the best. Like, I'm gonna do it. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to no damn Marine Corps though. So you go right ahead, and we'll figure something out. Like, we'll still make sure that we're together after, you know, I graduate. So he ends up getting deployed while I'm in school. So I'm in school. He's at boot camp. I'm writing him every single day. I'm pretty sure he was the one who had the most mail, because it wasn't a day went by that I wouldn't walk into that mailbox. I was walking to that mailbox every day, baby. It was like, Dear John. No. I gotta stop. I don't know why I'm so silly right now. I don't know. But I'm like, Dear John, you know, every single day I was writing him. Every single day I was walking to that mailbox, you know. And I was so excited. Well, at first I had to wait till his mom sent me his information. But when she did, baby, every day, because he was gone for 3 months, every day. And so when he was away, they was like drilling in his head that like I was with somebody else, I was cheating on him, he wasn't good enough for me. I don't know what they was doing to that man. But when he came back from boot camp, we started having problems, because he just was like, you know, trying to push me away and stuff. And so I'm like, you know, we stopped talking for a while. And then he comes home for like I think like 2 weeks, and then he had to go back to another training. So he go back to the other training. I'm you know, just finishing school, trying to figure out my plans, what's next and whatever. So in the middle of him being away of training, it's getting close to like my prom. And no, in the middle of him being away for that training, at first he asked me, he said, hey, do you think that we can get married, because I can get more money and I won't have to live in the barracks when I get stationed? And I'm like, bro, like, I already planned on marrying you, but why would you ask me like this? And why would you talk about money? Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I already was going to marry you. So, and then after that, we started having like more problems. Then we stopped talking for like a couple of weeks. So that's coming up to prom. Well, actually, we weren't not talking for prom, but we weren't together. So I ended up sleeping with somebody else at prom. So after that, I ended up sleeping with somebody else at prom. And then at some point too, I got to get back at him and her, because I had sex with her ex. So, you know, I can't throw the stick and have my hand. I did end up getting back at him at some point. And when he came home, he asked me, and I think I said yeah, and then I turned around and went to sleep. And then he was staring at me all night. He didn't go to sleep that night. He spent the night at my house. He was staring the whole night. He did not go to sleep. Yeah, I had sex with him when he was away at boot camp. No, not at boot camp. I didn't do nothing when he was away at boot camp. But when he came home and he started acting like funny and stuff, and then he went away, and then he came back. So when he came back is when I is when I told him that I had sex with the other dude. So it was between when he went away the second time and we was off and on. And then, yeah, this was at the prom too. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to get the timeline right because this was a long time ago. So it was at the prom. So prom, I had sex with the dude that I really liked him in high school. But me and him, we was just literally not going to work out. He, wasn't too much of a nice person in real life, so we just wasn't gonna work out. So me and him, we stopped talking and whatever. And so then me and the girl, ex-boyfriend, best friend of my ex, whatever, me and him started getting close, and like we gotta get back at them, because of what they did. And so that's what it was. Like, we just did it. And then when my ex came back from the second boot camp, because at this point he was already like throwing in my face, like, you're doing stuff with other people, you're doing this, you're doing that. Like, he was like acting, not right in his right mind. Like, he used to like call me a million trillion times, text me like crazy stuff, like, and so, red flags, but I ignored them. So he comes back and he asked me or whatever, and I told him like, yeah, I had sex with we gonna call him Larry. Yeah, I had sex with Larry. So that happened, and then but me and him, we tried again, and it wasn't working. So at this point, now he's going to where he's going to be stationed. He's going to where he's going to be stationed. I am just trying to finish college. Trying to finish high school. And so I ended up finishing high school, and now I filled out to go to a school in Dallas. So I go to my college. He's stationed where he's going to be, and now we're back in contact. We're trying to see if we're going to make this work. We're going to see like, what's going on. So I'm planning a trip to go see him. He's looking for flights, getting a hotel, booking everything, blah 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 blah. So in the midst of that, I'm on Snapchat and I see somebody in my others that I don't know, but she's there every day. So I click it. Now this is when Shirley comes in. I click it and I see wedding pictures. You're married to her. Who is this? So I go and I tell him, I'm like, you're married? Like, bro, like, what the hell? Like, when did you go get married? We're over here playing the ticket for me to go come out here and see you and blah, 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 blah. So I canceled my trip. But he tells me like, oh, it's an arrangement. We're doing this for money. I'm trying to get out the barracks. She can use the extra few dollars. I met her on Tinder. They knew each other for 2 weeks before they got married, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, what? So I stopped talking to him. I go cold turkey on this man for about a good 6 months. I don't say nothing to him. He don't say nothing to me. We just, we go about our separate ways. I'm like, I'm not messing with no married man, period. So the Ariana Grande song Thank You Next comes out, and I decide to take her exes and remove them and put the dudes that I messed with in there. And at one point, one of the lines, I had his name in it. So I'm like, thank you to Darnell, no, I was shine, but I wasn't a match. Even almost got married, and for Darnell, I'm so thankful. That's what it was. And so, but for Darnell, I'm so thankful. That's what I said. I said that. That was me. So it was just like a thank you next. Like, thank you, I'm moving on with my life. Not even an hour later, y'all. My messages on Snapchat, Facebook, I'm getting blown up. You homewrecker B. Blah, 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 blah. You're a homewrecker, this, and that, So Shirley, sisters and family decides to bone rush me and say that I'm all type of homewreckers because I don't know. Like, I don't know. Apparently what Darnell told me was, while they was like, having intercourse or whatever, he accidentally said my name at one point. So that's where he feel like all the, animosity came up. But she uploaded naked pictures of me as well from, so he had, when he was in boot camp, I sent him pictures. And those were the pictures that she had. So apparently she found the pictures. This is what Darnell told me. She found the pictures and she like showed them to him. But before she showed it to him, she took pictures of her own. And then they burnt the pictures together. Hey, I digress. Burning my pictures. I mean, I guess it was their way of getting rid of them. So they end up burning the pictures together. But I guess she took them on her phone to, I don't know. I have no idea what was going on in that, in her brain. But, I digress. So, after that, so now the girl, she got my attention. Like, I'm like, like, what's up? Like, who are you? What do you want? So he tells me, like, he's like, me and him get back in contact because of this situation. He's telling me that all the stuff that she's doing about him, going to jail, him, like, her trying to, like, sabotage him, basically, because he's in the Marine Corps. If y'all know that is serious. Like, they don't play about beating on your wives. They don't play about none of that stuff. And that's basically what they were going through. Like, he, so he used to call me sometimes in the car. At this point, I'm just being a friend. He used to call me sometimes in the car, scared, hiding in the woods somewhere because the police was out looking for him because of, what she had going on and whatever. And I'm just like, talking to him, just being his friend at this point. So we're talking, and I'm trying to see when was the first. He ends up coming home at some point. And when he comes home, at this point, I think I'm home for break. He's home for break. And we're like at home. And we got a hotel. But we did not do anything. We was just drinking. We was having fun. We was getting to know each other again. We was having a blast. At some point, she called my phone and was asking where he was. I told her at the time I did not know. I don't know. Because I just, I won with the drama. So, we let that go. And so, but when he came home, I think I ended up getting a video from out his phone of her, like playing with herself or something, because I was like, next time she come for me, I'm gonna, like, I have something on her, because, like, you just not finna be, exposing my goodies, and I think I'm gonna get yours back. So I had a video of her. So a couple of times go by, and he's about to get deployed again, but he's gonna get deployed overseas, and so they're talking about breaking up. So he's like, I'm gonna leave her. I'm planning on how to go about it. They sold everything, the houses, the cars, everything that they had together, they sold it. So me and him are back in communications now, because, like, okay, we're gonna be together. Y'all get a divorce. All right, come on, let's do it. They're gonna start the separation when he go on deployment. So I'm like, okay, cool. He's on deployment. Me and him are still talking. A couple of weeks into deployment, he calls me. She's pregnant. What? What? So I stopped talking to him. I'm like, I need time to process this. I stopped talking to him. He's like, okay, whatever. So apparently while he was on deployment, her mom had like a knife up to her neck or something and said she was going to kill her. So for him and her, they didn't feel safe, the baby to be safe. So they end up getting another place so that she can have somewhere. So they get a place. Now everything is going in her name now, because they have to get another place while he was on deployment. Everything is in her name. So they get a place. He comes back from deployment. Me and him are not talking when he first come back, because I was still processing it. I didn't know if I wanted to be with him anymore or not. So he comes back from deployment or whatever, and that's kind of when we started back talking. We talked for like a good month. In that month, me and him and her it's like a shit show. At some point, she walked in on him talking to me, and he like tell us, all three of us, like, I don't want to be with you, Sheila. I want to be with Shemaya. So, like, I don't know, but I'm just like, I don't want to be with you. So on the phone, she's like, okay, that's fine, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I hang up. That was the end of that night. So the next day comes and she calls me and she says, hey, like, I think she sent me a message too. And I probably have the message in my old phone, but she calls me and she's like, hey, Darnell never let it be just me and him. It was always me, him, and his job. So I just really wanted to be me and us, and try to make it work for the baby. So in my mind too, also, I didn't want to stress her out because I didn't want to stress the baby out. I didn't want to hurt the baby. So I'm like, okay, because like through it, I was telling her, like, you're worried about the wrong stuff. You need to be worried about the baby. Like, you are trying to make this man be with you. You're trying to focus on being with this man when I really want you to, like, just focus on your health. Like, me and him are, like, whatever we got going on, like, whatever. But, like, just focus on the baby. So, she's like, blah, she was like, I really just want it to be us. I want us to try to work it out. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to give you that. You want to try to work it out. Who am I to step in y'all way? If y'all want to work it out, whatever. Then she also told me in that message that he is not going to be in the baby's life if they are not together. He is not going to, like, it's either going to be them or he's not going to be in that baby's life. So I'm like, okay, all right. I'm putting my hands up. I'm gonna fall back. You got it. You win. I'm not trying to cause mess. So I fall back for like 3 months while he's trying to figure it out. Like while she's pregnant and whatever. I'm like, I'm gonna give y'all chance. So 3 months later, it's his birthday. So her and the baby comes to Chicago to let his parents and stuff see the baby for his birthday. Give me a second. Let me take a drink before I finish this because this is okay. So they bring the baby to Chicago to see his family. It's his birthday. He get in contact with me. Hey, I'm here. I want to see you. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I want to see you too. Come over. He comes over. We play games with my family. Then he goes see his friends. Apparently, when he was at his friend's house, he was taking pictures with one of his other, like, remember I told you I was 2 girls in the beginning of our relationship? It was, like, his, like, best friend, but I guess they had, like, some type of, like, relationship. Like, I don't really know how to explain it, but, like, I know he didn't ever do nothing with her. I think she like gave him head one time or something like that, but I know that they didn't really do nothing together. So he had like took pictures with her, like she was like bending over and like whatever. I don't know what was going on. I didn't even see them pictures until his baby mama sent them to me. So but he went there and hung out with them, and he ended up missing his flight. So the next day, I guess he made it for that, not the next day but the next morning. The morning after the next day. So that he told her, like, I did go see Shamaya, and I want to go see her again. I want to talk to her. He's like, I still feel the same way. I don't want to be with you. So he tell her that. So he comes sees me, and we're in the car, we're talking, we chilling, we vibing, we end up kissing. And so when he goes back and they're back on their way home and whatever. Now, at that point, we talk and we say, okay, we're going to do this. We want to be together. Like, this girl cannot keep us from being together. So we're like, okay, you go home, move back to the barracks. And, at this point, it was like a year, like it was like a summer finna pass before he was done. Like, it was only a couple of months left. So I'm like, we're just going to, thug it out for a couple of months, see what we, figure out how we can see each other. And then, you can come home and whatever. So we like, okay, that's what's going to happen. So he's on his way back home from Chicago to, where he's stationed. So on the drive back to the airport, he tells me that she asked him if me and him, did anything. I don't know what he told her, but we only kissed. I don't know what he told her. So apparently she like tried to yank the wheel, and they ended up totaling the rental car that they were in. So the baby was in the car. That's what I didn't like. So they end up getting back to North Carolina, and now at this point she's sending me videos. She's talking mad stuff. She's going ballistic. She's throwing all his stuff out the house. She's sending me videos. Come get him, blah 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 blah. And he tell me like, yeah, I came home, she had like a couple of bottles of wine, she's tweaking, blah blah blah. I tell him, just get your stuff, go to the barracks. Now I'm not taking this serious, because like I just feel like you can't make nobody be with you that don't want to be with you. Like, you're literally looking like a fool. So I'm telling her like, yeah, like, you look crazy. Like, if you really felt like however you feel about me, you was just here, you could have done something. Like, why are you acting like this? Like, I was like, it was like that video when it first came up, like, pull up on me. I'm just trolling her at this point. I'm not taking it serious. I think it's funny. I'm just like, cause like, why are you acting like this? Granted, I don't think it's funny to break somebody's heart. Like, you know, I felt bad, but it was like to a certain extent, because like, why are you sending me videos? Why are you doing all this? Like, me personally, that's not me. So I couldn't understand. I couldn't put myself in her shoes. But I had to think of, like, now that I think about it, I'm like, okay. Well, I kind of thought about it back then too. But that day, I was just like, nah, like, I'm finna troll you back, because you're not finna keep coming for me. So I'll tell her like, yeah, girl, like, you're tripping. Like, I'm trolling her back a little bit, but I'm still kind of like feeling for her, like kind of giving her grace, because for one, she just had a baby, and I feel like if I'm going to be in his life, I knew that I had to be right with her, because I don't want to be around his child and like have animosity and stuff for his mom. So I'm just like, girl, like, relax, seriously. So she's not having it though. She's going ballistic. Then she ends up, so he moves back to the barracks. I'm trying to see, it was a part that I was finna say, but I forgot. So if it come back, I'll go back, but I'm just gonna move forward with the story. He moves to the barracks, you know, and so we plan a trip for me to come see him. Now, in the midst of him coming home to me come see him these 3 times, I went to see him 3 times out there. So the first time, I get out there, we're having a good time, we're having a ball. Me and him are like getting to know each other again. You know, it's nothing really bad going on between me and him. We having fun, we having a ball. I make a TikTok. It was like, y'all know that video that was like, oh, I scroll through her page, I don't see my baby there nowhere. And then some. I made a TikTok to that, but I wasn't like messing with nobody. I was just doing, at that point, the TikTok was very popular. So I was doing that TikTok. I used to do TikToks all the time. So she saw the TikTok and she got to posting stuff again. She's going in on me. So I'm like, girl, like, what? Like, go away. So she ends up telling the Marine Corps. If y'all know about the Marine Corps group chat, women's wife group chat, you know, they're all almighty. I guess she telling them that the baby don't got no milk, the baby ain't got no diapers, the baby's, you know, whatever. And they end up flooding my page. Like, they are going in on me. I'm just deleting all the comments. My family starts seeing them and they try to, like, you know, defend me, but I'm just deleting the comments. They are trying to argue with them. I'm deleting them. I'm like, no, like, bye. Like, no. I kept some of them so they can just see, you know, like, how y'all really look. Like, what? So I kept some of them, but I deleted most of them. But they're gone now. I wish I still, I think I deleted it back when I was over the situation back then. I'm over it again, but I keep having to talk about it. So I'm just like, let me just make a video. So I'm deleting everything. That's the first day. Well, not the first day on the trip. That's like the first day of before the shitstorm. So I'm deleting everything. I'm like, okay, girl. So she's calling me. At this point, we're about to move from the hotel to his friend's house because I overstayed how long I was supposed to stay. So we was moving so I can, like, you know, so we can go somewhere else. So I guess she probably went to the hotel, honestly, because she's like, I want to fight you and whatever. At first I'm like, okay, like, you want to fight me, let's just go. But I called my cousin. She was like, no, you're not about to fight that girl. You out there, you by yourself. What are you even really fighting her for? I'm like, you're absolutely right. I don't even know, like, because she won't leave me alone. Like, the girl keep messing with me. So we're like, so my cousin like, you're not about to fight her. I'm like, okay. I started ignoring her. She's like, just ignore her. Y'all having fun. Ignore her. So I'm like, okay, you're right. I ignore her. We end up going to his friend's house. So that next day, she ends up coming to the friend house. The Marine Corps wives, I guess they built the army and found out where I was staying. And she ended up coming to his house that morning. And I was asleep. And she told him, now this is when COVID was going on. So I really wasn't supposed to be on base. But I snuck on base. And she told him, like, yeah, somebody in your house that ain't supposed to be there, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to call the police. So he had just had his runs in with the police and his wife. So he's like, I'm not messing with that. So he goes and he tell us we have to go. So we leave, and I think that same day or the day before when she was doing all that, the next day I think she started throwing all his stuff out. Now at this point she's throwing his guns out, everything that's like he can't have with him in the barracks. So he get his stuff, he take it to his friend's house, and she I accidentally text her. I meant to text him, but I accidentally text her and I said, maybe she'll sign the papers now. And she's like, the papers outside with his stuff. Tell him come get it. Tell him come get it. I'm like, oops. I said, oops, wrong person. And I guess that added fuel to her fire or something. I don't know. I don't know. But she was like not having it the whole trip. So after that happened and whatever, I ended up going home. Nothing else really happened. I'm trying to think. It is some pieces that I'm missing, but I keep losing my train, so I'm just going to keep going with the story because I'm telling y'all, it's already about to be an hour. So, second time I go on the trip. The second time I go on the trip, the girl, the first day, the time I was supposed to be there, it was good. It'd be after I stay how long I'm supposed to stay, it goes bad. So I stayed as long as I was supposed to stay. And then, y'all, we moved hotels because we wanted me to stay longer. So we move hotels. As we move hotels, she ends up texting him and saying, this is why you can't be here for me, because she's here and I had to be okay at the time. So she sends him my be okay, and she's like, this, she said what I said that she said. So he don't text her back. At this point, we're finna go out for his roommate's like send-off party because his roommate is about to go. He's about to, it's finna be over with for him for the Marine Corps. So we text we're about to go out with his roommate, and so he gets off work, he comes pick me up. I needed to do my hair because I stayed too long and my hair is messed up. I had 2 braids. So we go give me like some stuff so I can do my hair in a quick ponytail real quick. So I come back to the hotel room. He goes back to the barracks to go get his stuff, and I'm in the shower, y'all. I'm in a shower and I hear the door open. And something in my spirit told me it was her. So I turn off the shower. I think I just got done shaving my legs. So I turn off the shower, and as I'm stepping out, she rushes in and she assaults me. She started fighting me. I'm slipping all over the floor. So eventually I fall to the floor. I throw my hands up. I say, you won. She's recording. She's yelling all these things to me, telling me to apologize, blah, 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 blah. Then at one point she calls him, tell him, yeah, come get your chup and whatever. At this point, I'm trying to talk to him, but both of us is kind of talking, so he don't really know what's going on. So he hangs up on her. He's like, I don't know what she got going on. He hangs up on her. So at the end of the fight, me and him, she lets me up and whatever. At one point she started spitting, foaming at the mouth, spitting. I'm like, oh my God, you're spitting on me. She said, I apologize. Get off me. What? And so she was threatening to kill me, saying she was running around with a gun. Now, mind y'all, remember the first time when I told her she was throwing all his stuff out that he couldn't have in the barracks? It was guns. he said one of his guns was missing. So when she told me, like, I was riding around looking for you with a gun, I kind of knew she was talking about the gun that he was, like, had. So after she gets up and whatever, I go downstairs. I tell the man, like, you know, she runs out the room. I tell her, as she let me up, though, I'm like, stay right here. We're going to fight now. Like, now you want to fight? We're going to fight because that was disrespectful. So I go put on some clothes real quick. As I go to my suitcase, she's recording and she's like running out the room like, yeah, I finally got the bitch. And I don't know who she sent the videos to. If y'all got them videos, send it to me. I always wanted to see it. But like, she's running out the room recording me, and I text her. I say, come back. Nothing else but come back. I don't want to argue. Come back. I also called the police because, like, she wasn't coming back. So I called the police. I was going to call the police after she left, after she came back, because now I want to fight. So I called the police. I'm like, yeah, you know, whatever. They come. They take my statement. They're laughing at me the whole time. I go downstairs. I talk to the man that, you know, gave her the key, because mind y'all, when we checked into this motel, because it was a motel, not gonna lie, they had our IDs of everybody that was staying in the room. They said, I need IDs of everybody staying here, nothing else, everybody that was staying here. So you gave our key to somebody that wasn't staying here. So, and how she knew where I was is because BOK have like how many miles somebody is, and they also have, in the beginning of the trip, she asked him to babysit while she did something, and he told her to pick up from the Walmart by the hotels. It was a couple of hotels, so it wasn't that hard for her to find me. I know how she found me. So she did what she did. Now the rest of the trip, I'm gonna go. I want to fight. I really want to fight. But we don't end up fighting. We go out that night though. We enjoy ourselves. We have a ball, baby. She didn't do anything. Like, she had the chance to really mess me up. Like, I was so vulnerable. She had a chance to do me bad, and she didn't, because I feel like she knew what she doing was like not right in the head. But like, I don't know, like, I feel like people take what they be doing and they don't play it into reality. They just watch stuff on TV and they try to reenact it, and it's just like, be for real. So y'all, this video is too long. I know y'all gonna be mad at me. Oh, it's just getting juicy, but I have to stop it down because it's already at an hour, and it's gonna be hard for me to get it and edit it. So I'm gonna stop now, but I will be back and I will finish the story. But until next time, thank you guys so much, and I love you. And until next time, bye.